You are right in the middle of the camera.
Let it take, I say let it take its course. I think when that thing was originally approved, it was too dense.
Okay, welcome to the June 8th Board of Mayor and Alderman meeting. We will start, if Clyde, you will give the invocation, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand.
Would you bow with me? Heavenly Father, we come to you in prayer tonight. Thank you for this opportunity of meeting. We know that we are truly a blessed nation and that the freedoms that we enjoy are freedoms that have been provided by you. We ask that you be with the troops that are in foreign fields that are protecting our freedoms. We ask that you be with the families of the troops because we know that they suffer as well as the soldiers that are away and the families that are separated. We ask that you be with each of us tonight as we go about making decisions that will ultimately affect the citizens of Franklin. We ask that you give us spiritual wisdom, spiritual guidance. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
No problem.
to Paul. There's no rule that says you can't. Thank you, Clyde.
I'm making it.
We're having a discussion up here on the Pledge of Allegiance. Item number 4 is statements from citizens on items. You're not a citizen. On items that are not on the agenda, Mr. Scanner.
Yes, want to remind everybody that the Stones River National Battlefield Park Ranger, Jim Lewis, is the guest speaker for Sunday, June 13th of the Franklin Civil War Roundtable at 3 p.m. at the Williamson County Library. Ranger Lewis will speak on cavalry operations during the Stones River campaign. Admission is free, and this is the educational wing of Franklin's charge. Y'all come.
Anything else?
Right here, sir.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to make a comment about a meeting that occurred in Franklin today. In an obscure executive order a couple of years ago, the mayor appointed me to be the city's representative on TREE-DC, which stands for Tennessee Renewable Energy and Economic Development Council. Its advisory board is chaired by Emeritus President Joe Johnson, Dr. Joe Johnson from the University of Tennessee. We had the opportunity to invite that group to meet in Franklin, which occurred today. We had about 150 people from all across the state. We had participation from myself and Andrew Orr, who made some presentations regarding what we're doing, and also we learned what a lot of other cities are doing as far as renewable energy. So there were some plaques given out, and I have Vernon Girths here,
Vernon,
which is suitable for hanging on the wall. So thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. What's that other plaque there for? Is that yours?
Well, this was awarded to Ken Moore of Franklin, Tennessee.
Ken Moore. Hey. Where's my plaque? I pointed you.
It's in the mail, Mayor.
Hi, I'm taking my other hat off, and I'm here with Mindy Tate, and I'm a resident of Carnton Lane. And I wanted to speak about the small CIP project, which was discussed at tonight's work session, and the road into the Eastern Flank Battlefield Park. I want to commend Lisa Clayton and Mike Skinner and others who attended a meeting of citizens held at the Eastern Flank Clubhouse several weeks ago, where the citizens were able to voice their opinion on which road preference they had. And I just want to encourage the city that while this will go to the Battlefield Task Force or Commission, that the citizens there had deep concerns about the road and expressed their opinion. Lisa did a great job of handling that, and I just really hope that the residents in the area will be considered as much as what a commission or task force might recommend, because the residents have the effect daily of this, and we would like to be, for our opinion, to count as well. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mindy. Anybody else? Man, that's the most that's been used in a long time. Item number 5, there's nobody here. Item number 6, let's see. Please defer minutes of May 25th to the next meeting. So can I get a deferral to move the minute? To, okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right. Item number 7, I have no recognitions, nor do I know of any miscellaneous reports.
Wow.
So, consent agenda, items 20 through 27, we need to pull for sure item 26 to defer, so we'll need to do that. Is anybody else?
There's some others, item 18, I thought.
Well, those are going to automatically be, they're under new business, not on the consent agenda.
Sorry.
Okay? So it's just items 20 through 26 at this point.
Move for approval. Second.
So which one?
We're pulling 26.
Pulling
I'm sorry,
26.
I misspoke.
So 20 through 25 and 27.
Yes.
Mine is 26.
Yes. Okay, I got a motion, and did you get that? Are you sure you got that? You had that look on you. All those in favor say aye.
I have a second.
All right, great. Item number 10 is a public hearing in consideration of ordinance 2010-35 as amended, an ordinance of the City of Franklin, Tennessee, adopting a budget for the fiscal year 2010-2011, providing an effective date, which will be July 1, 2010. Does anyone wish to address this body on that subject? If not, I declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion?
Move to approve.
And a second?
Second.
Discussion?
Two things I wanted to say. One of them is thanks again because of the hard work that the staff and all the departments went through to reduce this budget once again. It's down 15% from 2 years ago. Really appreciate that. I do have a concern about the debt service, but I actually said that earlier tonight, in another context, saying that we do need to watch out for that.
Mr. Stuckey?
I just wanted to let you know, we do have a brief presentation to give an overview of the budget for the public hearing, so.
All right.
Sorry about that, but go ahead if you have other comments, and then we
Let's
can do
have
that. I know
Oh.
Alderman Moore had something as well.
I had one question is, I don't see the ordinance for the solid waste fee increase. Is that automatically rolled into
We have pushed that back to, because it is not an ordinance, it is a resolution.
It's a two-reading item.
Two-reading
Okay.
item, so it will be on we'll do it at the same time in 2 weeks. So that's why it's not there.
And the other comment I would ask or make would be concerning the increased debt service, and certainly we're all concerned about that, but there are significant things that this increase in debt service is doing for our city, and I want that point to be made also, that it's not just increasing the debt service. There's lots of new projects that are going to be done because we have stepped out a little bit.
Okay. Any other comments before we go to the brief presentation? All right, have at it.
I hear you on brief. Okay, I'll just take, it's just a few slides, but wanted to give an overview since it is the public hearing and kind of a key point in this process. And this is the overview of the 2010-2011 operating budget. It is our general fund operating budget as well as our other primary operating funds. It does not include water and sewer, though, and does not include the capital funding program and capital funding, capital investment plan that you approve and will update later in the year. Our focus is, and this is sort of a diagram we shared when we went through the bond rating process, in 3 primary areas in terms of the viability of our community and sustainability of our community over time, and that is on overall good, solid management, policy development and implementation, high-quality service delivery, measuring key performance standards across all of our departments, and being out there telling Franklin's story. We are a unique community and have a unique position in the state of Tennessee, in the Southeast, and in the country, and we need to be out there telling it. Economic development, which charts our course in terms of the future of our community, continuing to focus on high development standards, being ready to play offense, is the term. Even in tight economic times, we're still out there competing and looking at ways to build our community for the future. And then finally, financial management provides a backbone for all of it, long-term financial planning and policy development there, a capital investment plan and funding program that looks at it from a multi-year perspective, and really the outward demonstration of that, which is a AAA bond rating from both Moody's and Standard & Poor's, which puts us in the very highest echelon in terms of communities and financial standing. When you look at the budget overall, it's a just under $70 million operating budget. This in totality is a 2% decrease from the prior year. The general fund, which is our primary operating fund, is at just over $50 million, and that is a 6.9% decrease from the previous year. This marks 3 budget reductions in 2 years, which in total is a 15% decrease from the budget that was adopted originally in 2008-2009. This is an overall structurally balanced budget, which that structurally balanced refers to having ongoing revenues and ongoing expenses in balance, that we pay for our operating costs through ongoing revenues, and that we're not using our savings account, if you will, to pay for daily operations. Our essential service levels are maintained. I will add, it's not on the slide, but we are also including the implementation of the curbside recycling program throughout the community in this budget. Now for the general fund highlights, we hit on the numbers, but some other key components. We're in compliance with the board's policies. There are no layoffs in this budget. The general salary increase is incorporated for our full-time employees, but that is one that will not take place until mid-year of the fiscal year, the first of the calendar year, January 1, 2011. We have maintained the property tax rate at 43.4 cents, and that is the 21st consecutive year without a property tax rate increase, and puts the city again at the lowest city property tax rate of any community with a population of 25,000 or greater in the state of Tennessee. We are using a targeted amount, a planned amount of our reserves to help fund approximately half of our capital equipment needs in this operating budget. That's about $669,000. That is a reduction from the previous year budget, or the current year budget that we're in now, that was at $940,000. And the year before that, we had close to $3 million of planned use of reserves. So we have brought that number down significantly and tied it to a portion of our capital equipment needs. And again, this year, we have provided performance measures for every department across the organization, as well as highlighting sustainability initiatives that each of the departments are undertaking. It's easy to focus on the challenges in a tight budget time and the problems. We wanted to focus on not just challenges and problems, but the possibilities of this organization and of this community. And so we wanted to focus on high-quality services, investing in the future, things that still maintained our competitive position as we work to attract businesses, help our existing businesses expand, and attract families as they choose the communities they want to live in. In doing all that while we maintain what is uniquely Franklin in terms of our community character. When you look at where the money comes from, we continue to have a heavy dependence on sales tax. 45% of our revenue comes from the sales tax category. The property tax is at 13%, and state shared revenue comes in at 17%. So that's where the money comes from. Where do we spend it? And we looked at how do we spend it in 2 different ways. First of all, in terms of broader categories, we spend about 72% on people-related costs, salaries and benefits, and then our other operations take up the remaining portion of that. Capital only accounts for about 3% in this budget. Again, it's operating equipment at this point. We have stretched that area as well. That's one of the ways we've made this budget work. When you look at it by service areas, by those areas, public safety, police and fire account for 52% of the general fund budget. Some of the other categories are community and economic development, it's at 12%, our streets at 10%, and parks at 5%. This next slide just shows our overall financial performance over the past close to 10 years in terms of what we received in revenue, where we came in at expenditures, and where our projected, our fund balance ended up in those years, and where it's projected at this year, as well as where it would be projected at the end of next year, should the budget hold in terms of everything we've projected in it. Again, we remain well above the board's fund balance policy. This is approximately about a 49%, 49 to 50% fund balance compared to our operating costs, and that's well above the 33% that the board established in their policy. This just highlights the track record over time in terms of the property tax rate and how we've held that rate since 2007, and again, 21 consecutive years without an increase. And this just provides a projection in terms of where we are looking at coming in at the end of the existing year at just over $25 million in fund balance, tracked against revenues of $49 million. A planned allocation of that fund balance in this new budget of $669,000 against $50 million worth of expenditures. One of the other areas where we've made significant improvements in controlling our costs, and it's precisely as we hoped it would when the board made some additional one-time contributions to the pension system, a $2 million contribution, was that would hopefully help bring us in better line in terms of what that represents from our expenditures, significantly down from what's in this budget, and down about $1 million from what the budget originally anticipated as an ongoing number. So I think we are making progress there, although there's much work still to be done. That is a cost that you can see has escalated significantly over time. We are making strides to help bring that cost under control, and it will continue to be an area for us to work on and look at. The other general fund initiatives that are included in here that may be of particular interest to the community, we've got the installation of 2 additional emergency sirens to add to our outdoor warning system. That will help and aid those areas. We're also relocating one to help better cover some residential areas in our community. We do have the first full year of operation of our Liberty Park maintenance facility, which is a great highlight of co-locating streets and parks and recreation equipment so that they can better serve the community in terms of their proximity, but also sharing that resource between departments. The infrared street repair truck, we think, will be a great savings in terms of cost savings, and also a much more sustainable way to repair our streets and have our streets last longer. We think it will deliver in all those areas. We do want to study the potential of emergency medical transport being delivered by our fire department and our emergency medical services. Again, it's just a study at this point, but will be something we need to explore and understand. And also, one of the things that's also on your agenda tonight is consideration of a self-insured approach to workers' compensation. Alderman Moore mentioned this before, but one of the items that you'll see next meeting is the solid waste fee. We are proposing a $3 a month increase, bringing that from $12 a month up to $15 a month. That represents about a 75% cost recovery from citizens, and the remaining 25%, which is about $1.45 million, comes from the general fund and a transfer from the general fund. And we remain far below what private haulers and a lot of other cities require their citizens to pay for that service, but that's one we've continued to look at, and what the right balance is for our citizens to pay versus what the general fund contributes. The total wrap-up is we believe this budget meets the budget goals that were established despite tough economic times. It represents considerable cost containment by our team, and every department stepped up in making this happen. A 6.9% reduction year to year, and a 15% reduction over 2 years that have been accomplished while still maintaining high-quality services to our citizens. And I want to personally thank our leadership team for their leadership in us getting there. We do all this in an environment that has flat or slow-growing revenue. We continue to be very dependent on the sales tax, and that will continue to be something we need to look at over the long haul. We have the solid waste fee increase that we talked about previously, and a measured but partial withdrawal from our fund balance to help us fund our capital equipment needs. But again, remain well in compliance with the board's policies throughout this budget. I just present this to you and to the citizens of Franklin, and look forward to continuing to have a good work plan that lives within our means but delivers on the expectations of our citizens.
Thank you, Eric. I didn't mean to make you be brief. This is something that I know you and your staff are proud of. It's been a lot of hard work. I want to reiterate what Ann said. A lot of people put a lot of effort into this, and you and your staff are being commended by that.
Thank you.
All of us should be proud.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Excellent job.
Absolutely. Okay, we have did I get a motion in a second? I thought I did. All those in favor of the motion on item number 10, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, raise your hand. Motion carries unanimously. Item number 11 is also a public hearing, consideration of ordinance 2010-36, an ordinance of the City of Franklin, Tennessee, establishing a municipal property tax levy for the fiscal year 2010-2011. Does anyone wish to address this body on that subject? Seeing none, I will declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion?
Move for approval.
And let's do motion by Ann and second by Bev, and another second by Margaret. A third. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. All those opposed, raise your hand. Item number 12, consideration of, well, all I need on 12 is a deferral to July 27, 2010. Is that your, and a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, raise your hand. Item number 13 is the same deferral, if I could, to July 27th.
So moved.
And a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, raise your hand. Item.
Mayor, may I comment on
You
item
may.
13, just real quick? We are working to have a neighborhood meeting, what is it, David, July 6th or 7th? It's on the Capital Investment Committee agenda, but we are working to have a neighborhood meeting to bring back some of the options for the Carlisle Lane intersection with that neighborhood as we had promised. And so we, depending on how that goes and where we are, this may be ready for consideration in July 27th.
When is the neighborhood meeting?
I believe it's the 8th, July 8th.
Okay. Item number 14, consideration of resolution 2010-28 to approve TDOT proposal for the McCatcher widening project from State Route 96 to State Route 6. I need a motion.
Move for approval.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye. And by the way, I guess maybe everybody got the list from Glenn Cassida about the TDOT projects. It looked good for us to
Yes.
see a lot of things moving forward.
Yeah, I agree completely. I think there were no's on that vote. That was unanimous. Item number 15 is consideration of resolution 2010-35 authorizing adoption of the manual for the septic certification inspection program.
Do we want to have that returned to
We would-
the work
To the work
session?
session.
Return to the work session? Is that what
Do
we
we need
decided?
a,
Is
do we
that what
need a deferral
decided?
to the,
We need a motion to defer back to the work session.
Session.
Defer to the work session.
can we vote on it 2 meetings from now, the July 13th?
Say, what day do you want?
Because I think we need to, since it's on your voting meeting, I think we need to defer to the appropriate voting meeting for you as well. So.
You don't really have to. You can defer back, back
To
to,
a committee.
Okay.
we can defer back to the committee of the whole, which is
Right.
what
So you can
that
just go
is.
back to that.
Go back to
Okay.
the work session.
So
Yes.
what,
And then we'll be on the voting session?
We
that
can
night?
decide,
what
time
day?
out.
Yeah, just defer to the
We
work
defer back to work session, we can decide the work session if we want to carry it forward. So do I have a motion to defer to the work
Motion to
session?
defer to the work session of July,
No, June
June what?
22nd.
22nd. Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, raise your hand. Item number 16, consideration of Resolution 2010-44, a resolution to approve the award of the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, congressionally mandated projects grant, designating the city engineer as the city's authorizing representing. Pearl, you make that motion? Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, well, there you go, Margaret.
Got in.
You have to be quick around here to get the seconds in. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. All opposed, raise your hand. Motion carries unanimously. 17 is consideration of Resolution 2010 for a detailed resolution for recovery zone bonds.
Move approval.
And a second? Did I get a second?
Second.
And any discussion? All in favor say aye. All those opposed, raise your hand. Motion carries unanimously. Item number 18, we'd like to defer to the next, let's see, what did we say?
Withdrawal completely?
Oh, we just needed, it just said withdraw. Do we want to defer that to a specific,
To the work session. Let's do the same thing. Let's do the same thing.
to defer?
June 22nd.
June 22nd. Clyde made that motion. Is there a second? I got one. Bev, did you second that one?
Yeah.
Okay. All those in favor say aye. Okay. Item number 19, this is, we actually need a motion to move to a self-insured program for workers' compensation with TML.
So move.
And a second.
I'll second, but I have a question about it. On the workers' compensation options on the, I guess, next to the last page, don't we have to decide or make a recommendation about the deductible? Which are those just options there? And
That provided you with some options to increase the deductible, which is an alternative to the self-insured.
Which is not the self-insured.
Oh, I see.
program. Right.
So they gave you other assessments
got it.
of if we changed our deductible, what our
Okay.
premiums would look like. The bottom square is reflective of a self-insured
Okay,
program.
thank you.
Any other discussion on that? If not, all in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, raise your hand. Motion carries unanimously. Item number 26, I need a motion to defer to, how do we want to defer that one? To the work session again? Are you happy with that?
Yeah, let's take it to the work session. It could end up on both, but let's
Okay.
take it to the work session.
Motion to defer to June 22nd, work session, and a second.
Second.
All in favor say aye. All opposed, raise your hand. I believe there are no other items on the agenda. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
So move.
All in favor say aye. All right. Thank you all.